What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And yes, yesterday we posted the top 5 foldables of 2023, in my humble opinion. But we did try and make it objective. Hopefully you can all agree with that. The point scoring system kind of worked. So, why not replicate that for the candy bar style phone? Yes, this year has not only been filled with foldable phones on my channel, there have been candy bar phones from the likes of Samsung and Xiaomi and Vivo and Apple and everything in between. So I've compiled the exact same format as yesterday's video, which on a side note, thank you very much, it's doing incredibly well. Keep watching, sharing, doing all that stuff. So, why change something if it's not broken? Let's talk about my top 5 foldables and rate them in 5 different categories. Let's go. So again, just before we get into the categories, I just want to thank you for all the support over the past few months with the channel. It's growing and growing and growing, and yesterday's video is now like number 1 in its as far as YouTube studio rankings. So again, massive thanks for that. Now, the categories from yesterday's video are exact same as today's. We've got price, cameras, software, design, and build quality. Now, as far as how I selected these phones, I just done it based on my subjective opinion of my top 5 phones of this year. I want to say that, yes, the Honor Magic 5 Pro probably should have been in the list. I made the video and I was swithering between having that or the Vivo X90 Pro. And as I look back at my reviews, I probably should have had the Honor Magic 5 Pro in there. However, I can tell you that if it was in there, it would have scored similar to the Vivo X90 Pro. Other than the Honor Magic 5 Pro, and you can tell me in the comments, I can't think of any other candy bar style phones that I've used that I'm missing. Certainly not the Nothing Phone 2. Let me tell you, that wouldn't be in the top 20. So yeah, I can't think of any I'm missing, but you probably will, so let me know in the comments. So without further ado, let's get on to the first category, design. Now, for those that didn't see yesterday's video, it's a 5-point scoring system, so first place gets 5 points down to last place, which is 1. That doesn't mean last place is a bad phone. Remember, this is my top 5. So if you're buying any of the top 5, you're getting a fantastic device. So, design-wise, here's my top 5. In my opinion, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra is the best designed phone. Subjectively, I prefer that big circular camera bump, which you can see because in second place was the X6 Pro. But it's also, with the Ultra, it's an aluminium squared off sides, which I much prefer to the whole rounded sides. But it's also got a vegan leather back, which is good for durability, fingerprints, and grip. So for me, design-wise, I gave it to the Xiaomi. Now, as mentioned, the OPPO comes in second, iPhone in third. Now, design-wise, look, I know the iPhone looks the same as it has done for the past few years. But it's now titanium, which we'll get to in build quality. But the iPhone 15 isn't as sharp at the edges and the corners as the others. So design-wise and ergonomically, I do love the aesthetic of the iPhone. And in the titanium blue and the natural titanium colours, I really do think they're stunningly designed phones. We've then got the S23 Ultra in 4th place. Again, not a bad design at all. I like the squared off edges. But the back of the phone is just like the S22 Ultra. I know the iPhone is as well, but I've said that the iPhone did actually change because of the softer corners and the edges. Anyway, they're all very well designed phones, but I had to pick a top 5, and bringing up the rear is the Vivo. Vegan leather back, but it's got the more rounded edges. The camera bump is weird to say, but probably too small for me. They could have made it bigger like they have done with the new X100 Pro, which is going to be in my hands tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, subscribe. 5 points for the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. On to the next category. So build quality, for those that are wondering, is different to design. How the phone looks and feels is different to the build quality in terms of durability, longevity, and the materials used to build the phone. I would be dishonest and disrespectful to Apple, and I know majority of my fans and viewers, subscribers are Android mad. So am I, trust me. But when a phone company brings out a titanium phone for basically the first time mass produced, and it's space grade titanium, and they've reduced the weight by like 15%, we have to take notice. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max, with the titanium build in those different colours and the ceramic shield front, it's just solid. It's an absolutely solid structure around a smartphone. Durability wise, for anybody watching this channel, if you've owned an iPhone, has it ever done you wrong? Has it ever broken on you? We've all had Android phones that have had cracked screens and durability issues. iPhones don't, and with the upgraded titanium build now, they are solid. So the iPhone had to be number 1 here. Now, the Samsung, I said the design wasn't all too different, but the build quality with the squared off edges, the armoured aluminium, the Gorilla Glass Victus Plus 2, whatever it is they're using on the front screen, everything just feels way more solid on the S23 Ultra, and I like the feeling in the hand. That's also important. I also have no issues when it comes to durability. If you have an S23 Ultra, it will last you easily 3 to 5 years. We then had to rank the others. Now, build quality on the Xiaomi 13 Ultra is not bad at all. It's great. But there is a chance that vegan leather will start to look awful in a few years. Not a few months, but in a few years. And then the other two bring up the rear. It's vegan leather on the X90 Pro. Again, that won't look great. It's quite a thin feeling device. While it is light, it doesn't have that premium heft of the S23 Ultra, the iPhone, or the Xiaomi. And the OPPO is just, it's fine, especially in that two-tone colour. Build quality-wise with the aluminium and the vegan leather, it feels great. But trust me, when you've got an S23 Ultra in your hand and the X6 Pro in your hand, you can tell which one is built better. Hello, just a quick interruption to the scheduled programming. I have 2 foldable phones for sale. You know me, I love a sale, I love to pass on the savings. I have a perfect condition Huawei Mate XS2 in black, 512 gigabytes of storage for sale. I have a perfect condition Vivo X Fold Plus in the beautiful red colour, 512 gigabytes of storage, also available. If you are interested, DM me on Instagram. You will be shocked at how cheap these devices are. I want them gone as soon as possible. So as always, first come, first serve, payment up front, then I'll ship tomorrow. Both devices. Huawei Mate XS2, Vivo X Fold Plus. Back to the video. Now the next round Might be controversial. I don't think it is. I am an Apple fanboy, yet I have to concede that Samsung deliver the best software. In yesterday's video, I hadn't included the Z Fold 5 in my top 5. But if I did, it would have run away with the software round. Because S23 Ultra is in the top 5, it also has to run away with the software round. Now remember, the software isn't just Android or the One UI skin. It's multitasking. It's the pen stylus support integration built into the phone, which goes towards build quality as well. It's all that in one package. I used to always prefer iOS until the past few years, where this channel is just all Android devices from all parts of the world. Now I love the customization that an Android device brings you and the flexibility. But why the iPhone is just behind the Samsung and ahead of the other Androids is because we cannot forget how easy the Apple ecosystem is, and it just works. I record my videos on an iPhone 15 Pro Max. I then airdrop them to my MacBook Pro. They're just seamless. I edit in Final Cut Pro, which is the quickest on a Mac to render and upload, and a couple hours later the video's edited, done, and it's posted. That's Apple's software at work. And then there's the security and privacy. I'm not one of these people that think, oh, Chinese phones are not secure or private. On the contrary, they offer some of the best security and privacy. So for Apple, as much as they bang on about that, Samsung and Xiaomi and all the others are just as secure, in my opinion. But software-wise, they do have Face ID for security, slightly better than all of the others when it comes to security, and that is included in software. So the iPhone pipped to first place, but does get second. We've then got personal preference. I'll be honest. The reason the Xiaomi, though, is in third is because there's a global version available. Simple as that. Android Auto, smartwatch pairing will all work. Other than the Vivo and the OPPO, Android Auto will not work, and smartwatch pairing will not work. So they have to be second last and last. Okay, so the penultimate category before we talk about price and rank them on price is cameras. And by far, I know this will be the round that gets the most heat, debate, chat going. So keep it going in the comments. Message me on Instagram as well if you like. But this is my objective, hopefully, but obviously subjective opinion comes into it. One thing I will say is, every one of these devices I have owned, well, to be honest, I've owned a few of them more than once, but I've used the cameras extensively. All of these phones have been reviewed on my channel, so I have experience using them all. And camera-wise, I had to factor in a few things. The camera's not just photos. We can all agree that the camera includes video, yeah? The camera also includes reliability. So, I want to get rid of the two at the bottom first. The Vivo and the OPPO have good cameras. You're going to get some good images. 7 or 8 out of 10 photos taken will be great. But there's those 2 or 3 that just don't look great. We've also got 1080p selfie video recording. In 2023, we need 4K. There should be no argument or debate on that. So because these phones only offer 1080p, and because their photos software isn't as consistent as the others, they're the bottom 2. So we now get to the top 3. And I'll be honest, the order can change. The Xiaomi can be number 1 and the iPhone can be number 3. The Samsung can be number 1 and the iPhone can be number 2. I honestly wouldn't care. If you handed me any of those 3 to take photos with, I would be grateful. The fact that we have many DSLR cameras in our pockets that can also take phones and send GIFs on WhatsApp is mind-blowing. The fact that all of that camera and photography capability, along with the smartphone capability, is packed into something that costs relatively cheap when you compare it to a mirrorless or DSLR camera, is just amazing for us, the consumers. The reason the iPhone took number one is because, well, for one, it's now got a 5 times periscope zoom lens on the 15 Pro Max, which is a first for Apple, and trust me, from 5x all the way up to its maximum 25 or 30x, I believe, photos are bloody sharp. Video recording, Apple consistently, hopefully you can all agree on this part, do the best video recording on a smartphone. Colours, stability, everything's great. Android are catching up. The S23 Ultra is by far the best Samsung video recording we've ever seen. And the Xiaomi is good, but the Xiaomi arguably takes better photos than the Samsung. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this one it's a toss-up. I went with the iPhone because I use the iPhone for every single video I take, both for talking head and for B-roll. I love the Samsung because I love a zoom lens, and that 10 times optical, when you've got something that you shoot at 10 times optical, it's, again, just mind-blowing how great the photo looks. The Xiaomi has 5 times optical. It's got the Sony 989 sensor. Again, main camera images are just as good as either of the two, sometimes better. But consistency-wise, for me, the iPhone and the Samsung are more consistent. The iPhone has slightly better video, so it took the win. That's it. Don't shoot me. I know you're going to hate me in the comments, but hopefully I've tried to explain my reasoning as best as possible. Now let's talk about price. So I told you I'll be as honest as possible. Where phone manufacturers do well, I will congratulate them for doing well. Where they don't do well, I will call them out on it. And Apple are not doing well with price. Now again, I talked about the whole we've got a camera in our phones now and that's great, value for money wise. But if we're talking strictly smartphone costs, iPhone charging £1,500 for a 512 gigabyte smartphone is sheer insanity. Because you have to couple that with the fact that in number one, the Xiaomi 13 Ultra, bought from WONDA Mobile, link in description, is half the price. And folks, that's not, oh yeah, but it's a Chinese ROM and there's workarounds. No. You can tick the global option even on WONDA and they'll flash the ROM for you for, I think it's £50 they charge. So for under £800, yes, half the price of the iPhone, you can pick up the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. That's unbelievable value for money. And it also shows why the Samsung is second last. For the half a terabyte version, not on any deals, it's £1,400. That is a lot of money when you consider the competition. Now, for a change, the OPPO and the Vivo are actually in the top 3, and that's because it's the value for money they offer. Yes, the OPPO and the Vivo have software workarounds you have to do in order to get Google. But once you've done them, hardware-wise, build quality-wise, design, they're in the top 5 of the year. The OPPO Find X6 Pro, you can find new, for just over £600. And that's for the half terabyte version, folks. The Vivo, not looked recently, but it's under £700 for the half a terabyte version. However, the Vivo X100 is literally out now and it'll be in my hands tomorrow. So the Vivo X100 is still under £800 for the half a terabyte version. And it's a whole new kettle of fish when it comes to cameras because, let me tell you, spoiler alert, the camera on the X100 Pro is the same as what's on the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. I am excited to try that. So, price-wise, that's the top 5. And let me tell you, it basically came down to this round when deciding the overall objective winner. Not my winner, the objective winner. So, let's talk totals. So if you're keeping score at home, you'll already know who's won. Or if you were scoring your own way, feel free to go back and use these phones and score each category your own way. Let me know in the comments how you scored it. But for my scoring, here's the order. At 5th, we have the Vivo. Again, the X100 Pro is out now. I expect that to do better in a top 5 list for next year. The OPPO was in 4th place. 13 points is respectable. Again, where I'd say it was let down was probably build quality and software. I do wish this was global. However, again, my top 5 phones, all 5 are fantastic devices and you can pick it up. It's actually the cheapest on this list to pick up right now. So if you're looking for a fantastic Android device, the OPPO Find X6 Pro is the one to get. Now in 3rd place, and it's only 2 points separating the top 3, so it could go either way depending on how you score them in different categories. Again, the price and camera round basically decided this. But in 3rd place is a Samsung S23 Ultra. Guys, for those that think I don't like Samsung, you are way off the mark. I don't like what Samsung are doing with their Z Fold lineup, which is basically nothing for 4 years. But what they're doing with their candy bar style phone, the S23 Ultra, the Alpha Omega Supreme, as Flossie would call it, I love it. I love the fact it's got the pen. I don't use the pen very often, but it's got it there if you need it. It was in 3rd place though, objectively, with 17 points, a very high score. And then we've got the iPhone. Yes, the iPhone didn't win. When you look at all the categories, the iPhone's not the best smartphone. If the iPhone was £300 cheaper, maybe it would be. But just like the OnePlus yesterday in the foldable video I created, spoiler alert, OnePlus wins, the Xiaomi is consistently top 3. It was never last, but it was always in the top 3. It wasn't always first. Because of the consistency scoring points, it has scored 19 points. Remember, there was only 25 points available. So this is a very commanding score to achieve. It only dropped 6 points across all 5 categories. Build quality, design, cameras, price. As a reminder, WONDA Mobile have a global version of this device for under £800. Buy through my link. So the Xiaomi wins. And conveniently, the Xiaomi is my winner. That's the one I wanted to win. It did win. That's my favourite candy bar phone of the year. I have owned 3 this year, I believe. And the Xiaomi 14 Ultra is coming out very, very soon. And having just used the Xiaomi 14 Pro, yeah, I am going to love the 14 Ultra. And it's probably going to be in titanium as well. So yeah, watch this space. If you haven't already and you're looking forward to seeing reviews on the Xiaomis and the new Oppos, please hit subscribe. And if you haven't already, like the video and hit the little share button. I firmly believe the reason yesterday's video is doing so well is because I know at least 10 to 15 people shared on their social media. So please, if you can be arsed, share my video on social media. It helps a lot. As always, let me know in the comments your thoughts, your opinions, your scoring. I'm interested to know. And until next time,